Maundy Thursday. Today we have two readings. The first set comes from the Gospel of St. John, chapter 13. It's about Jesus washing the disciples' feet and also challenging Peter. Once again, I'm taking this from the point of view of somebody else who was there. Now, I don't know what you think, but in all these years we've been following the Master, we just sometimes think Peter doesn't quite get it. We've been together for 3 years or so, and Peter and us should know the Master by now. Anyway, Peter was not that pleased to be sent off on an errand, especially as it required some shifting of furniture, and he let us know as much as we waited for supper. He had a tendency to grumble and to put his foot in it. After we had eaten the main meal, the Master suddenly stood up and took his robe off. He picked up a towel and a jar of water and moved round the table to where the least of us were sitting. Then he started to wash our feet, just as a servant would do if we had any, and he worked around the table. I think that we were all feeling a touch uncomfortable about this, until he got to Peter. But Peter just couldn't take it. He had to challenge. He does tend to be a bit hot-headed, and sometimes says what the rest of us are thinking, but we're too frightened to say. He's a good person in that way to have around us, mostly. But the Master chided him gently. Clearly, complaining was not an option, and the threat of being cut off for what was to come was very real and worrying. So Peter gave in, but then he had to ask to have his hands and head washed. This was clearly not the plan. The Master said that we were clean, we didn't need washing, but he did say that didn't apply to all of us. Now that's worrying, and we wondered who he meant. After this, when the Master was back at the table, he started to teach us many things, and he said that we could not follow where he was going. Now, we've followed him all this way for 3 years. Why couldn't we continue? So it fell to Peter once again to speak up and say what many of us were feeling. Why not, he asked. And then he said, I will lay down my life for you. We all agreed that we felt like that. Then the Master said to Peter, before the cock crows tonight, you will deny me 3 times. I think we rather felt sorry for Peter. And that is the end of our first story.